The evening fog lay thick across the cobbled streets of London, shrouding everything in a veil of mystery. Street lamps flickered, casting long, trembling shadows, and the distant rumble of a car echoed through the quiet night. It was the sort of night where secrets could be easily lost in the haze, yet one woman had no intention of hiding what she knew. She appeared from the mist as if materializing out of nowhere, her figure slender and poised beneath a dark, elegant coat. Her gloved hands were clasped tightly around a handbag, the only sign of her otherwise composed demeanor. As she reached the red telephone box on the corner of the street, she stepped inside, closing the door with a soft click. The interior of the booth smelled faintly of tobacco and rain-soaked paper, but the woman paid no mind. With a steady hand, she picked up the receiver, placing it to her ear. She dialed calmly, the rotary clicks echoing in the tiny space. Her expression was serene, almost indifferent, as if she were ordering flowers or making a reservation for dinner. At last, the line connected, and she spoke in a soft, clipped tone. "Good evening, operator. Connect me to the police, please." There was a moment of static, then the voice of the duty officer on the other end. "Police. How may I assist you?" The woman's eyes flickered as if she could see the unfolding scene in her mind. "I would like to report a murder," she said smoothly, not a tremor in her voice. "The body can be found at 12, Gascoigne Square. It's the second door on the left as you enter the building. It was Mr. Henry Thackeray, the landlord, who did it. The victim? Yes, I believe you'll find her name is Lily Hart." There was a stunned pause on the other end. "Madam, can you?" The woman's voice flowed on without interruption. "The murder took place in the drawing room just before 9 o'clock. You will find the clock on the mantel stopped at precisely 8:47. The weapon was a silver candlestick from the dining set. Mr. Thackeray, I should add, was rather careless. He left fingerprints on the wick and a bloodstain on his cuff." Her words were matter-of-fact, the casualness of them chilling. The officer finally found his voice. "Madam, are you still at the scene? Who are you, and how do you?" But the woman was already turning her gaze to the mist outside the booth, her grip on the receiver still firm but her face unreadable. "You needn't concern yourself with me. I've told you all you need to know." She glanced at her wristwatch, an understated piece with a thin leather band. "You'll want to hurry. Mr. Thackeray won't stay long once he realizes what is done." Before the officer could protest, she slowly replaced the receiver on the hook, the metallic click punctuating the finality of the conversation. She lingered a moment longer, her breath misting the glass of the booth, before stepping out into the fog once more. The hem of her coat swept against the damp ground as she walked away, her figure gradually dissolving into the mist. In the weeks that followed, the police did indeed find the body of Lily Hart exactly where the woman had described. Mr. Henry Thackeray was promptly arrested, though he protested his innocence until the very end. The newspapers were full of speculation about the mysterious informant, but despite their best efforts, the woman's identity remained elusive. Some swore they'd seen a lady in a dark coat walking away from the scene that night, her stride unhurried as though she hadn't a care in the world. Others believed she was an accomplice, an avenging angel, or perhaps even a figment of imagination conjured by a guilty conscience. But the truth slipped away into the fog, just like the woman herself, forever a mystery. And so, as London carried on in the dull hum of daily life, the legend of the lady in the booth grew. Perhaps she was out there still, watching, waiting, ready to step from the mist and call again when the time was right. Written by Squirrel Sandwich.